So, I had 2 videos already made. This and my top 5 reasons Heather is my favorite teledrama character. I was going to release reasons Heather is my favorite character first, since I had more negative vids on my channel. Most overrated characters, worst episodes, reason Duncan was a horrible idea, worst characters, and my only positive video was my top couples. However, SN Dagnar 54 requested I do a video on my teledrama All-Star sex, so I decided to release this first instead. So, you can thank SN Dagnar 54 for this vid. Thank you SN Dagnar 64 for the timing of this video. And thank you for the request. So, I will release the top 5 reasons Heather is my favorite character in a week. Hi y'all, it's Cameos today. I adore teledrama, which is why TD is in my YouTube name. However, I love teledrama All-Stars. Some say All-Stars is the worst season, others say Pocatello Island. All-Stars for me is the worst season, but I won't deny that Pocatello Island sucks too. There are a lot of problems I have with All-Stars, and here, I'll explain what they are. If you like teledrama All-Stars, that's great. It's your personal opinion, who am I to judge? And it's great that you see something in it that I don't. Please remember to hit the like button, because if this video reaches 15 likes, I will make a video on how I would change teledrama All-Stars. Now, on with the video. First and foremost, there was so much character derailment this season. Almost all the characters here were derailed. The only one I'd say wasn't derailed is Scott. And he actually experienced great development this season, which is one of the few good things there is to All-Stars. Characters here were either not themselves or they went too heavy on the stereotypes. Since almost everyone here was derailed, I'll go over the worst examples. Gwen. This season, she was not herself at all. In fact, she was the exact opposite of how she was in Island. She was very whiny when placed on the villains, and always whined, "Why? I'm nice." In Island, she was a goth girl with a bad attitude and didn't give two beep about anything. Now she's trying so hard to be friends with Courtney. This got on my nerves from the moment I first saw it. Duncan's breakup was very boring. It's just her saying it's over and shoving him aside. Her friendship with Zoe was pretty boring too. Had no flavor. Compared to her friendship with Lashana, which I actually felt something with that friendship, and it was actually interesting. Gwen this season is not Gwen at all, and it never will be. Gwen was laughed upon seeing the All-Stars version of herself. Gwen was legendary in Island. Actually, with a Far Cry World Tour, she got worse, and it actually hurts what they did to her, and by this season, everything good had completely faded away. Duncan. Duncan was very annoying this season. After he switched to the heroes, he was a disaster. He became such a wannabe bad boy. When he was called a hero, he retaliated and constantly insisted he was bad and tried so hard. Anytime he was insisting he was bad, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. He tries so hard to be bad, he ends up destroying the Playa de Losers, and most of his acts of vandalism prior to that were usually minor. I hate how they just wrote him as a softie. Previously, Duncan didn't care what anyone thought and just did what he wanted, and that's what made him a bad boy. And he didn't care about his reputation previously, but it was like, okay, don't tell anyone. It was not to the extent that was this season. But this season, I was like, is this the Duncan we all remember? No. Definitely 100% no. Duncan was one of my favorite characters, and him being a bad boy with a good heart was a big reason why, but this season really used that to butcher his character. Tara. I thought she was great in World Tour. Aside from Can't Help Falling in Love, she was very funny and wasn't just a one-dimensional type fangirl like you would expect to find within Pocatello Island. But that changed this season. Here they went too heavy on her stereotype, definitely, and focused 100% on her crush on Cody and forgot about anything else. This season, she was very cringy and uncomfortable to watch. She became so obsessed with Cody that she started hallucinating Cameron as Cody and calling him Camody and Camerody. She was crazy about him before, but it was never to this extent. She went from hilarious insane to cringy insane. Everything else like her game savviness, funniness, knowledge of the show, and rivalries, Heather and Alejandro are gone. Only for her Cody obsession to grow to the point where she hallucinates and thinks Cameron is Cody. When her phone broke, she hallucinated everyone as Cody. All-Stars 100% for her character with her dependence on Cody. All-Stars really demolished her reputation as well. It probably wasn't a good idea to bring her back without Cody. Lindsay. Just like with Sierra, they definitely went too heavy on her stereotype. Here, she became so dumb that she didn't know how to use a stroller, marker, or talk without annoying anyone. She was also eliminated in the first episode, and this is the very last we see of her. The worst thing about this was that this is the same girl who was the only one on our team who knew the horror movie stuff was just props, knew how to walk in a red carpet, and even outsmarted Courtney. They took that development from action that she experienced, that amazing development, barricaded inside a shack, and lit on fire. What a shame, really. This just makes Lindsay being reduced to not knowing how to drive a stroller or use a marker even more infuriating. Courtney. 3 words. Sunday, Monday, Sunday. Do I really need to explain more? Cameron. I'm not a big fan of Cameron. He's pretty boring, and he shouldn't have on all that platform he got. And like they talked about earlier, he became the victim of Sierra's cutty-fresh imagination. He got mad at Scott when he was mad at him for using him as shark bait, when he was rightfully mad. Zeke and You Shall Find is pretty much Sunday Muddy Sunday, except it butchers Cameron super ultra hard instead of Courtney. He was super dumbed down for Mal. Mal tells him everyone's out to get him, and now he falls for it, starts acting really mean to everyone, and can't notice how strange Mike is acting. Which is just shocking, because this is the same guy who observed his MPD last season, was the first one to find about it, and even became Iron Man in the finale. And he was like the smartest one there. Mal tells him to kiss Courtney to sabotage her relationship with Scott. He acts mean to Gwen, denies help from Alejandro when he is about to fall, which is an incredibly dumb thing to do. Then he's injured and reduced back to his bubble. Why? It's just offensive because he spent last season overcoming his bubble, his life challenge, and moving on, and became Iron Man in the finale. How could they do this? Overall, Cameron definitely remained in the game for too long this season. He escaped elimination twice, and both times were in Ed McDonald episodes. Also, if he were gone earlier, he wouldn't have undergone such a horrible case of character derailment. There are definitely more character derailments I could go over this season, but I would be going on all day, so I just decided to limit it to the worst ones. And it just sucked, because All-Stars ruined all of our favorite characters. I have pretty much at least one negative thing to say about everyone in All-Stars except for Scott, who's actually experienced good development, but it just hurts that they ruined everyone here. Chris's sadism. This season, I don't like that Chris went from a fun, lighthearted host that just liked messing with the contestants to flat out enjoying trying to kill them. Casting failures. Don't get me wrong. We did have some characters who are good choices of turn, like Heather and Gwen, but there were a few characters that were here that I feel shouldn't have been here, and a few that weren't here but I feel should have been here. When it comes to contestants who shouldn't have been here, Sierra wasn't a complete no-go since Cody wasn't here. That kind of eliminated her justification of being here. But she wasn't the best pick. But Sam shouldn't even have been considered to be here. He's not a competitive guy, pretty average character, played Sense and Revenge, and didn't even make the merge. Cody, Owen, Brick, and Anna Maria all allegedly were supposed to return, but Brick was replaced with Sam, and Anna Maria was replaced with Gwen. I don't get why Sam was a better pick than Gwen. They should have just stuck with Brick over Sam. Allegedly, they made that decision because Sam was easier to work with and was one of the 5 main protagonists in Revenge. But so was Brick. If Brick was here, we could see more of his amazing rivalry with Dro, and he is a total hero.
I don't see why they had 7 first gen and 7 second gen. With the first gen, we had 24 contestants over the course of 3 26-episode seasons, while the second gen had 13 contestants over the course of one 13-episode season. There are some characters that are not here, but definitely should have been. Like I mentioned, Brick. And I feel like Duncan definitely could have been here too, because she's a fan favorite and she needs more screen time. But others that could have made the merge include Lashana, Harold, and especially Owen. Like, I don't see why Owen wasn't here. Like, why wasn't he here? He's like the main character of Total Drama, and he won Island. They should have had one or more first-gen characters and second-gen, since second-gen definitely experienced more development. The merge was too early. And this is a big reason I consider You're Gotta Be Kidding Me to be one of the worst Total Drama episodes in the series. They merged 8 out of 14 remaining contestants, which makes no sense. It makes way more sense to merge 7 out of 14, aka the exact halfway point. And McDonald wrote this episode, so this proves he's bad at math and can't divide. And McDonald could not write a decent episode. He got fired midway through Pockatail Island, so that's good. Hey, a point for Pockatail Island. Speaking of Ed McDonald, he wrote Sunday Muddy Sunday, the worst episode in all of Total Drama. I rewatch the series frequently, and when I do, I skip this episode. This episode completely ruined Courtney. The whole chart was handled poorly and came out of nowhere. It had some huge continuity errors. Like Courtney saying the Final 5 was the farthest she ever made in Total Drama when she made the Final 4 in action. We don't even see how Mal got Courtney's chart. Courtney takes a whole new level by starving his interns. If you rewatch the series or All-Stars, I recommend skipping this episode. It'll save you from losing some sanity. I've only seen this episode twice, and I refuse to ever watch it again. Mal as a villain, or Mal period. Mal just sucked. It felt as if he was ripped out of some zero-star fanfiction on a creepypasta wiki. He seemed too cartoony and unrealistic, and all he did was go around and break stuff. They dumbed down everyone to make him look more intimidating. Like, how was Cameron even this dumb? Like I explained earlier. And Zoe, who dated him for a whole year. And Alejandro tried to warn anyone, he got the punishment, not Mal. Zoe doesn't even fail to recognize or care to look deeper, and even eliminate Scott when she knows Mike is Mal. Which brings me to my next point, and one more thing to say, how did they not take note of Mal revealing himself to Cameron before he took the flush of shame? In fact, in All-Star, they made Zoe dumb, gullible, and naive to points that even Lindsay could never fall to. Mike and Zoe got too much screen time. These two are literally the main focus of the season. Everyone deals with them except Lightning. And that's because he was on the other team and was the second one eliminated. They took these two, pushed them into our mouths, and forced us to gulp them down. This really irritates me because I despise Zoe. Really despise her. She's my least favorite character. Mike and Zoe are not interesting enough characters to be the main focus of this season. Mike is just really boring to me. In fact, I probably think he is one of the, if not the most boring character in the entire series. Pretty much everything that happens this season can be traced back to this relationship. Zoe won 3 consecutive merge challenges, one of which was Sunday Muddy Disgrace, which really shows how much the writers love Mike and Zoe. Just as much, if not more, than Total Drama Ricky. Probably even more because they thought Mike and Zoe being the finale was a good idea. One Total Drama Ricky himself has confirmed he thinks the finale sucked. Which brings me to my next point. The finale was horrible. 3 words. Worst finale ever. So what sucked about this finale? Flip-flop that question, now it will be a hard one to answer. And what should be asked? What doesn't suck about this finale? The challenge a 7-year-old could have come up with, just river and rock climbing, dodging meat guns, and pulling out a sword. Mike and Zoe were poor final choices. Either of them can be in the finale, Zoe can be in it, you can choose Zoe the Spicer, and Mike can be in it. But they should not be in a finale together. At least you could have done was have Zoe say, I guess it really is Mel, so I guess I'll take Scott to the finale. And then that could probably have been a better finale than the finale we got. And additionally, they should have had Courtney make it that far, since she has a very strong stomach, as seen in Chinese Fake Out, which is another reason Sunday My Sunday's the worst episode. So she should have won and made the bold and bootyful. But then Zoe and Scott could have been a good finale, but even better or optimal would have been Courtney and Scott. Owen's cameo was horrible, and 8 contestants were left in balloons full of his farts and were left to drift and die. So the producers have confirmed they are alive and well. The reset button was awful because it was just stupid, since MPD can't be cured by the push of a button, and you really took away the entire point of Mike. It destroyed Camp Wawanakwa, the freaking birthplace of teledrama. You can't take away the birthplace of teledrama, and this is the worst moment in the entire series. And McDonald might have gotten fired, but Terry McGurn should have been fired too. He should stick with voice acting. At least Heather and Alejandro finally became a couple, but lovey-dovey one. Not like Action Bridget and Jeff lovey-dovey though. They were kind of entertaining to watch, and I'd say that's the only good thing to come out of the All-Stars finale. Cameos were worthless. I talked about Owen's cameo last point, so I won't talk about it again. Ezekiel jumped off the plane as the feral joke. The feral joke isn't funny teledrama. We definitely don't want to see more feral Ezekiel. Izzy made the same cameo she did last season. All of them have gotten enough screen time. Cameos were more interesting in Revenge of the Island. Cameos here should be someone from the second gen who didn't get to compete, or first gen who didn't cameo in Revenge. So there you have it. Why I consider Teledrama All-Stars to be the worst season of teledrama. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Another reason you should like this video is if it reaches 15 likes, I will make a video on how I would change Teledrama All-Stars.